Hey guys, Kat1 here, finally back with another story time with Kat1. Now I know it has been a long time since I've actually uploaded anything. It's because I've been really busy, I've been on vacation, I've had schoolwork, it's been really hard to find time to record. In fact, I don't even have a lot of time now. But I'll try to get as much done before next weekend so that I'll have some more time. Anyway, before I actually go into my story, I have a couple of announcements, sort of things I'd like to make. Basically, there are a few changes to the channel I'd like to be making. Like, I know some of you, for one thing, do enjoy the other games that we play here. Like, I know people were enjoying Project Zomboid. I know people were enjoying The Escapist, but the problem is that not enough people enjoy it. And I don't mean I'm trying to be greedy, but I've been thinking about this thing. It's called, like, subscriber burnout or something. You might have seen theories about it, but basically, what it means is that if you miss enough of my videos, they won't show up on your feed, or whatever it's called. Those videos that show up on your YouTube homepage. Whoops. And I find that feature of YouTube, get out of the way, to be pretty annoying myself, but... So, what I'm thinking of doing is, since most of you subscribe for the Attack on Titan tribute game, there is definitely going to be a lot more of that. So, I hope you'll be happy with that. The only problem with this is that the game is updating a lot less than it used to. Like, it used to update once a month, and I don't think it's updated since, like, February. But hopefully it gets another update soon, or otherwise, we'll have to come up with some sort of series that I could do. Like, I know Storytime is fun and all, but I was thinking, like, if there were some sort of challenges you wanted to see us doing, that would be cool. So if you have any suggestions for us, then feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will take a look and probably do them. Since you guys seem to be pretty helpful with, like, suggestions and tips. Aside from that, I will still be continuing with the other Let's Plays we've been doing, but they will probably be fewer and far between. And aside from that, I know some people have subscribed for the Spurbcraft series from the webcomic Homestuck. If you enjoy that, then you're going to probably enjoy what we have in store for you. There is a Homestuck game coming out soon, if you aren't already aware of that. It was for this Kickstarter that I backed, like, years ago. And finally, this spring, it's supposedly going to come out, and I get to beta test it. I think. I hope that's still in the agreement, but supposedly I'm going to beta test it, and I am probably going to record that. Though I do know Andrew Hussey does seem to have some issues with people using his stuff, notably selling cosplay items. But I am sure that this will be fine, and if it's not, I'll probably end up doing it anyway. Anyway, if you don't care about Homestuck, don't worry. We'll still be doing other games, we'll still be doing Attack on Titan tribute game, and additionally, we'll probably be doing other Attack on Titan games that we may find. For one thing, there has been, in the works, a fan game. Not a tribute game, the fan game. You might have heard of it, but I have a user on the forums, I check it regularly, and from what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be awesome. And I might make a video on it later. But for now, just know that if and when that does come out, I'm going to be all over that. We both are. Hopefully there's going to be, like, there's definitely going to be multiplayer for it. So we are definitely going to be doing a lot of that when it does come out. We'll also try and see if we can find any other games that we might want to play, regardless of how crappy they may actually be. Anyway, that's enough ranting about announcements for now, I think. On to the story I was actually going to tell. So this story takes place back in elementary school, and I was considered gifted, and I usually understood pretty much all of what they were like trying to teach me in class. So like, seriously, primary, that was like torture. They were all like, S is for snake, S, and I was like, S is for shut up, I already know how to read. Except I didn't actually say that because I was like a 6-year-old and I wasn't allowed to be mean. Anyway, this meant that most of the time during class I would just screw around, usually fiddling with like whatever objects I had in my desk, doing various arts and crafts, sometimes writing if I felt like it. One of the things I liked to do was to make up codes, and I like to learn about them. Like, I learned pretty much every single code I could find. Like, I was learning Morse code and Braille and binary and even that weird one with, like, the flags. Like, if it was a code, I wanted to learn it. My favorite code, though, was one that I came up with myself. It had 2 different versions. One of it was the easy version that probably anyone could read if they had taken the time, and the other one was nearly impossible to read because it was encoded in 2 different ways. I'll probably post pictures of them or something. If you can figure them out and post what they say in the comments, and I will give you a shout out in my next video. I was also pretty good at cracking codes. Where even is the last Titan? I do those cryptoquote things like in the newspapers. One time, during the 6th grade, a bunch of the guys in my class had come up with their own code. And they were like writing messages to each other in secret, and they were all, ha ha ha, no one can read this, and I didn't know what they were writing, and I didn't really care. But I did want to crack their code. So, I took a look at some of the stuff they were writing, I got their code, I cracked it, made a decoder for myself to look at, and then I started writing the messages in their own code and leaving them about where they could easily find them. I don't really remember exactly what I put in the messages, but it was probably something along the lines of, ha ha ha, I know your code, and you will never know who wrote this. Then, acting completely unsuspicious, I went back to my desk and I listened. And I waited. So they found the note, and they were all freaking out, and they could not figure out at all who wrote it, which was exactly as planned. But then, to solve the issue, they decided to come up with another code. This was all during class, keep in mind. I don't think any of us got any real work done that day, but it was worth it. So they finished their second code, and were starting to send each other messages in it. Aha, there you are. Gotcha, you think you can hide from me? Uh-huh. Trying to focus on storytelling and like Titan killing is hard, but anyway. So they finished their new code. They were writing messages in it. And I cracked that one too. leaving another message. So the day went on like this, with them making up new codes and me cracking all of them and leaving notes for them, taunting them. Eventually they gave up on trying to make codes, I think. So this one guy in the group, he comes up to them and he's like, "Hey guys, it was me." And I'm like, "Hey, hold on. That wasn't supposed to happen. They were supposed to be confused forever. You can't just do that. You're stealing my spotlight. You are stealing my work." And they all laughed and agreed with him because we were all like 10 or 11 or whatever, how old you are in 6th grade. And everyone believed him and his confession that he made. And at first I thought that the plan had been ruined and was disappointed, but then later on I realized that the guy who had confessed still didn't know who wrote the codes and was now the only one who had no idea who it was. He and he alone would have no idea who was writing the codes the entire time. And I hope sometimes he still lies awake, wondering who wrote the notes. Anyway, that just about does it for that story, but I'll probably come up with a longer one soon, possibly on my vacation, or maybe on other weird things I did as a kid. If you've done anything similar with codes, feel free to leave a comment. And I will see you all in the next video. Kat1 out.